There are several interesting building and development projects happening in Newberg, and what I'm going to do in this video is share 5 of the most either interesting to me or 5 of the most kind of impactful projects happening in Newberg as far as it relates to housing or just interesting things happening. So this is in no way a comprehensive list or video because there's a ton happening. Most of this, all of this, you can find on Newberg's planning department page. There's a lot of projects under review, and so I just picked a few out of these that I felt were interesting that maybe you guys might want to know about. So where I'm at right now is Rogers Landing, and this is the very first one I'm going to be sharing. What's really interesting about this, there's nothing actually planned to be built right now, but this is part of a nearly 30-acre annexation from land into the city of Newberg. And where you can see right now, if you don't recognize this place, is Rogers Landing. So here is the parking lot over here. The river is right down here. And over this way and up at the top is a fairly massive parcel that most people probably don't even really know exists, or they've just never thought about it because it's all fenced off and is a part of the county. And I'm pretty sure all of that is privately owned property. So several property owners have come together and decided to annex this property. It's not really exactly determined what it's going to be. It's still preliminary stages because it's going to be annexed. So what's interesting to me is that when you look at the Riverfront Master Plan, so this is the master plan for the Riverfront District that had kind of a overarching idea of what this area would be. Several of these areas were thought to maybe be like an amphitheater or expanding the park so that it could be usable and expanding the usable riverfront access. So this is why this is, to me, really interesting, because if that was all part of the city and became a park, there's a lot of land that could be usable that wouldn't otherwise be usable. And then up top, behind those trees back there, there was a potential plan for that to be an amphitheater. Now, I don't know if that's still the plan, but it would be really interesting to me if that's what ultimately happened. So this will be an interesting one to keep your eyes on. It'll probably be several years before anything happens, but I just thought it was worth sharing. All right, so this next project I'm going to cover is actually the biggest subdivision in the works right now in Newberg. And this is going to be Kina at Springbrook. Now, Kina at Springbrook is going to be nearly 100 acres with lots for about 400 homes. So this project is going to be a mix of high density and medium density residential. You can see on the zoning map where the different types of lots are going to be. And there's also going to be some apartments as well. And this was originally part of the old Springbrook Master Plan. The Springbrook Master Plan was developed in 2008 by Joanne and Ken Austin. And when they passed away later on, a lot of the projects stopped, but now it's been kind of slowly implemented. There's been some complications, but this is going to be really the first major step in this housing development, which is going to add over 1,000 new homes. And you can see on the map with the Springbrook Master Plan just how extensive this is. It really is the biggest master plan project in Newberg that's going to add a lot of new housing units. So this plan, you can see where I'm at on Mountain View Drive, and Villa Road is right down there. And this is mostly just a big hazelnut orchard and then open fields that's really not used really for anything. And so over 100 acres are going to be turned into housing. There's going to be over 30 acres of open space. And then, so I don't know if you can see down there, but across that field, there is essentially a creek that runs. You can see over the road, it takes a dip and goes back up, and the creek kind of runs through there. So there's going to be a pedestrian bridge that goes across. There's going to be walking trails, so a lot of people can come and use this as a great walking space. So it's going to really do a lot for our community. It's going to provide some much needed housing. We've got a severe housing shortage here. So it's going to do a lot of great things for our community. I'm actually really excited about this. Again, it's kind of the first step of the whole Springbrook Master Plan. So this will be another interesting one to keep your eye on. We don't know exactly when the building's going to happen. These things take time, but I'll report on this down the road when things actually start happening. All right, now this next project I'm covering is kind of a mixture of two, and it's the Crestview Crossing, which has been in development for a while, and then also the Crestview Greens, which is behind me. So the Crestview Crossing, which has been being built, like I said, for a while, has hundreds of homes ranging from a 2-bedroom to 4-bedroom. There's apartments and there's commercial shopping and things like that, which you can see on the map what actually is involved in Crestview Crossing. But since that's been being built for a while, I'm going to focus on this next one, which is Crestview Greens. Now, a nice thing about the scope probe is that I can extend this way out, show you way up here. So over there is going to be the Crestview Greens. It's going to be a mixture of about 95 attached homes, so like townhomes, 14 single-family homes that are detached, and then I believe 24 multi-family housing units. So those would be things like apartments. I believe they're going to be apartments. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to directly connect from Crestview Crossing in there. Well, again, we don't know when exactly this is going to happen, but feel free to check out Newberg's page. The planning page has a lot of great information about this. You can check out all the different documents and even get involved in city planning meetings if you're interested in doing that. But this is going to be another huge benefit for our town. It's going to add a lot of needed housing because, again, we're in a housing shortage. Now, something to keep in mind with all of these housing projects is, yes, there's an element that it's kind of sad to see all these homes crammed in such a small space. To see these kinds of homes, I mean, you can see how close they are together. Some of these homes don't have yards, and a lot of people really feel sad that Newberg is turning into more jam-packed development. And I kind of feel the same way. Even though I'm in real estate, I help people buy and sell homes all the time. It is hard to see beautiful land turned into housing. Problem is, it's really what we need. Like, if we don't have that, the house prices are just going to keep going up, and you can't really do it both ways. So I definitely understand that aspect, and it's kind of like a necessary evil. All right, this next building project is actually not housing, but it's a hotel, which is also much needed in the area. For people coming and visiting, there's really not a whole lot of options. So this is going to be on about 1.5 acres. It's going to be a 4-story hotel, and it's going to be 79 rooms. So this is going to be a great asset for our community. It's going to draw in more tourism that goes into the city's budget that allows more great things to happen. So this is another one that there's been some contention about, some people complaining that more tourists are coming and it's going to cause problems, but ultimately this is something that is really needed in our community and something that I personally am really excited about. Also on the map, you can see exactly where this is across from Fred Meyer, right next to Highway 99. On what I believe is called Brutcher Street. Again, you could go to Newberg's planning page and they've got all the information about this that you can find out. By the way, if you like these videos and want to know all about what it's like living in Newberg, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this. If you're new to the channel, my name is Daniel Roberts. I'm a principal broker with a real estate team called the Joyful Roberts Group. We're helping people move to Newberg all the time. So if that's you, you need help buying or selling a home, feel free to reach out to us. My contact information is right there at the bottom of the screen. We'd love to help you out. All right, this next building project is an apartment complex, and it's going to be called the, I believe, Haworth Apartments. Some people say Hayworth, some people say Haworth. So this is going to be a 28-unit apartment complex right on the corners of, well, it must be Haworth Street and Springbrook Road, which is also right by Safeway. So it's going to be a really nice apartment complex. There's going to be both 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units. And there's going to be at least 40 off-street parking spaces. Now, this is another one of those things that can cause some contention here in town. People complain that things are already too crowded, that the traffic is already terrible, but we also really need housing. I can't really stress that enough, that we're in a housing crisis because there just aren't enough houses for people. There's people living on the streets because there aren't enough housing units for everyone. So this is really good. It's important for our community. People moving here can move into these units because they probably will be on the higher end side. And then the rest of the units can be open for people who need them and aren't really looking for something that's really high end. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you like it. Again, if you like this video, feel free to share it with someone who you also think might like it. There's also a couple of other videos that are going to be showing up on the screen. You can check those out as well. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.